So I suppose what does all reasonable steps look like day to day?
Yeah, it's a good question, but it's a difficult one to, guess, give a specific answer to. I mean, it's going to be tailored business to business, obviously, but I think it's really looking at being a lot more proactive about how you manage the risks and how you manage sexual harassment generally. It's all fine and well to have an area of the business that we risk assess and we think, okay, that's a low risk area. We're probably not going to see many instances of
Mhm.
sexual harassment. But if we do find that actually there are complaints in this area or we are seeing issues, it's then, for one, reacting to that in the sense of, okay, we need to do something about that, but then proactively managing that going forward and seeing how we can reduce that risk.
Mhm. So it's, I suppose, what we're not saying is that policies, training, some of this stuff, it doesn't matter anymore, but it's perhaps not enough anymore.
Exactly. I mean, the problem obviously with all reasonable steps is, well, I mean, it's very ambiguous. Um, Quite unhelpfully, there are regulations built into the legislation to set out what all reasonable steps might look like. Um, but what we're seeing is that actually we're not going to see that until 2027.
Mm.
Um, so we're going to have a duty for a year that we don't have a lot of clarification on what it is. That is very, very broad by nature. Um, yeah,
And I suppose, do we know? We don't quite know exactly what we're talking about. Do we know how tough tribunals will be about this kind of thing?
I mean we don't, and we don't know until we actually see cases coming through with the new legislation in place. But I think if we give regard to the way that tribunals look at harassment, even now with the reasonable steps defence, I think there is going to be a real look at, have you identified the risks? What steps have you taken? Where might there be kind of gaps on things? And also, how do we address it? I mean, it's a move, I guess, because at the moment, taking reasonable steps to prevent harassment is a defence in the employment
Mm.
tribunal. That's the basis on which we defend harassment claims. Now, by making it this proactive duty, it's going to be under much more scrutiny, and it's going to be, under a microscope as to what have you done,
Mm.
how have you checked what you've done is effective.